Hi, friends. Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday for everybody watching me today on Friday, December 10th. And have a great weekend to everyone who's going to watch me in replay. Welcome, welcome. This is Marina Shepelsky. I'm Marina Shepelsky, and this is my weekly Friday Immigration News Live with Marina Shepelsky. Getting back to work this week. I went back this week to my office after being in quarantine with my entire family. We all had COVID. Thank God it wasn't bad. Thank God none of us needed to go to the hospital. No one needed a ventilator. It could have been so much worse. And I'm just very grateful that it wasn't. I'm back. I feel really good. Still a little tired, but not that bad. I'm basically back to work in full mode, in my regular mode. I'm really trying here. I prepared some news for you this week, but honestly, the biggest news remains the immigration reform that came out. You probably are sick of this, but maybe some people haven't heard yet. November 19th, the lower part of Congress, the House of Representatives, passed a proposal. It's still not a final law. It's still not a real bill, but it's a proposal to legalize some people in the United States who are still without status. And it wasn't the real full pathway to citizenship that all of us were hoping for, right? But it was a proposal to get green cards and temporary parole for a lot of people. And I'm going to get right into it. Basically, there were several categories. They want to legalize, they want to give green cards and a temporary deportation protection too. Okay, so it's about 7 million people who are in that category. And of those 7 million, they think about 1.5 million have a family member or close relative who already has a green card and or U.S. citizenship and can legalize them once they get the status. So the first category of people as part of the financial bill, the spending bill that the federal government is working on, which they gave a name of Build Back Better Act, is $1 billion set aside for immigration reform. And the work permits and temporary parole for 5 years to people who've been here from before January 1, 2011 and have been living here since is the first category. So if you've been here since before January 1, 2011 and you've lived here since, you'll get, if this passes, a work permit and a temporary protection from deportation, which is called temporary parole. The second category has some subcategories. So the second group of people will be people where they want to recapture, bring back the visas unused, never used for quotas that the government authorized for years and years and years back, all the way back to 1992. Use those visas to give people who are here in America right now and are waiting for a green card, whether it's in a work category or family petitions. For work category, you have to pay $5,000 supplemental fee, an extra fee. And if you've been waiting more than 2 years, you can apply for a green card and skip the line, skip the quota, skip having to wait longer because you're from some country like India or China, and you can get right into the green card filing. Second category is people waiting for family petition, like parents of U.S. citizen parents filing for married or single adult kids, like siblings. Those categories. If they've been waiting more than 2 years here in America and they pay the $2,500 supplemental fee, they will be able to legalize and get a green card in and a work permit and all of that good stuff. Also, people who won the diversity lottery visas but couldn't come in because of the Trump bans, the travel bans imposed by Trump, will be able to come in and get their green cards because those visas were already issued to them, already approved, and all they needed was authorization to come in. And eventually, we'll be able to see them coming in. So that's basically, just briefly, because I talked about it so many times before. And if you want to hear more about this, you can go back to my live last week or even the week before, where I already discussed it, but it still remains the number one, to me, piece of news in the news. Now, they extended now the time by which they have to finalize all this and decide if they're going to pass this or what form they will pass this in, to February of 2022. So nothing is going to happen immediately. They promised to get this on the floor to Senate, for Senate to begin discussing all this by December, end of December. But so far, I haven't seen much movement. We'll see. They definitely have to finalize and make a decision on this proposal, suggestion of a law by February 2022. Now, the other big piece of news is that despite all of these promises that Biden and his administration made about people who can file for asylum easier now with a new Democratic president and administration, that's not really the case anymore, because they brought back the Wait in Mexico, or sometimes it's called Remain in Mexico, asylum program for people who basically, with no visa or anything, just walk up to the US border with Mexico and ask for asylum, right? So before Trump, they were allowed to come in. Sometimes they would get detained. They were processed, interviewed for asylum, and then a lot of times they were released into the United States, sometimes on bond, sometimes without. And basically people would just disappear and become like illegal under the radar, many of them with deportation orders, but they were able to come into the United States. When Trump came in, he said, look, you come to the border, you ask for asylum, and you go back to Mexico. We don't have to hold you in our detention facilities, our prisons, our jails on the border. We don't want to let you go into America until we know what's going on with you. Go back to Mexico while we're processing and making decisions in your case and scheduling you for court if you were approved at the first filter, the first level. So that was called the Remain in Mexico program. And when Biden came in January 2021, only 12 short months ago, he said, I'm getting rid of this as soon as possible. The new Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Alexander Mayorkas, said, we're getting rid of it. There's so many problems with this. Da, 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 da. Okay, then two states, Texas and Missouri, sued immigration and said, hold on a second, we are the ones taking in all of these immigrants because we are border states. We cannot handle it. The federal government cannot tell us how to run our lives here. And these immigrants are disrupting the state lives. They're taking so many resources away from Texans and the Missourians that we are not able to function. You better ask them to go back to Mexico again. And they won. And for now, this program is reinstated. Federal court ordered the federal immigration system, Department of Homeland Security, to bring back the Trump Remain in Mexico program. So that's the other second major piece of news today. I'm trying to get through the news so I can have a little more time at the end for Q&A, because I posted this from last night and I see that there's a lot of questions already and I want to have time to answer them. The third piece of news is that TPS people, so TPS stands for Temporary Protected Status. It's like temporary asylum. If you're filing for the very first time right now, you are now able to file it online. So as soon as you are ready to file for TPS, and that's for people who are from Burma, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, Nepal, Nicaragua, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. If you are eligible and you never filed before for TPS, you can file online immediately. The other big piece of news, and it hasn't really been in the news, but as an immigration lawyer, I saw this happen immediately, and we began talking about it in our immigration lawyer groups on social media that I'm a part of many of these groups because I like to stay on top of things from the insider side as well, is that now people who are already in immigration court proceedings and have an alien number and have open cases will be able to file their asylum applications online too. And this just showed up. So now you can file your cancellation of removal, asylum, and a couple of other types of applications online through the new immigration case portal system. This is amazing because I've been practicing immigration law since 2002, and I've seen it evolve and catch up to the times a little bit. Since we also do divorce law in our office, we see how the stateside courts do things. And in New York and New Jersey, people have been uploading things into the court system without having to use mail and paper now for like almost 2 years, really in a full way. We've been having court hearings by link remotely since the pandemic, and a lot of it has remained. Believe it or not, about 80% is still being done this way on the state side. Immigration has been catching up, and it depends, of course, where you live, because each state's immigration court does things differently. But now they all share this online uploading system. You can upload big chunks of paper into the system. You can upload now, this is new this week, it became available, the I-589 application for asylum, withholding of removal, and convention against torture, that allows people to ask for asylum if they were detained or arrested by immigration. And this is big news for me because I'm an immigration law geek and I like technology. I like the fact that now we're using in our office people signing things electronically. We email them right from our case system, all the forms, and they're able to sign them electronically. Immigration is still accepting, and I think they will continue this for a while, if not forever, accepting copies of people's signatures. This allows us sitting in New York City to have clients in Missouri, in Kentucky, in Ohio, in Cleveland, in Chicago, in LA, in San Francisco. We email them the paperwork, they click on it, they sign right on their screen, on their phone, on their screen of their computer, and they send it back to me right from that same screen. And we get the forms, we put everything together, and now we don't even need to print a lot of this out. We make one file in our computer and we upload it into the court system. Much better for immigrants. Your rights are being protected so much better this way, because mail sucks. And this might come to as a surprise to you guys if you are not living in America, but our American state, our federal mail system is kind of sucky. We get letters lost all the time. It's not reliable. We personally in my office use Federal Express Courier for almost everything. It's really expensive, but we do it because we trust Federal Express. They need a signature. They have a tracking number. I can always see what's happening to my clients, your guys' packages, and I want to make sure everything gets to where it's supposed to go by the deadline. So we hardly ever use the American mail system, the USPS, the U.S. Postal Service. This helps us even more by being able to do this online. By the way, citizenship applications are now being done online, and if you compare the time it takes for a citizen's application uploaded online to process, much faster and better than when you send in the paper forms for anything uploaded online. Okay, so paper forms, even when we send it by overnight by Federal Express Courier, is still taking longer to process. Even the processing is longer when you do it by paper versus online. Same thing goes. You can now file online any work permit renewals. I still like to file the new applications by paper, but sometimes we do both. What else? I wanted to talk about removal of conditions real quick today. Removal of conditions is when someone has a green card already, a 2-year green card. They got this 2-year green card in a marriage to a U.S. citizen or green card holder, but things have fallen apart. I see it all the time. It takes 2 years to get to the point of being able to file for a 10-year green card. So we have a lady right now in the office, as an example. She is from another state too. She and her husband filed, they printed out the form and they signed it. And they gave us all the supporting documents. We said, thank you. We're going to take everything right now. we cannot mail your form and the documents out until it's exactly 90 days, 3 months prior to the date your 2-year green card will be 2 years. So the 2-year anniversary of the conditional temporary 2-year green card, you can file for the 10-year green card by filing exactly 90 days or less before the expiration. She wants to file it now, and now it's going to be extra like 30 days. And I said, no, we have to hold on. And she's flipping out a little bit, and we're trying to calm her down. It's very frustrating. I totally get it, but we have to wait. For those who are still in the marriage and everything is fine, we file 90 days before the 2-year anniversary of the green card. You look at the green card, there's a date, and it says date became permanent resident. We add 2 years to that date and subtract back 90 days. That's when you can file for removal of conditions. Some people are no longer together with their U.S. citizen spouse. What to do? In some cases, we wait the same amount of time. It depends on the situation. Sometimes it's worth it to file immediately. So if your relationship with a citizen sponsor spouse fell apart, we don't wait. And we file immediately as soon as, you tell us he left or she left, she cheated on me, we filed for divorce. As soon as you file for divorce, that's when we file for removal of conditions. Removal of conditions is one of the most long processes right now in immigration, very delayed. It takes sometimes 2.5 to 3 years to get to the point where a human being actually takes the file, looks at it, and schedules you for your 10-year green card interview. This is for people in a marriage to a U.S. citizen. And again, it's very frustrating. Sometimes the marriage falls apart while they wait for the interview. If that happens, we ask immigration to switch the basis of the case from the joint case to the person filing for themselves, self-sponsoring themselves. That's called a waiver situation. This is where we ask the government to waive the requirement of living together at the time of interviewing under the same roof and still being married, right? And then to prove the waiver, we have to show something out of the ordinary that happened to this couple and that the person deserves to get their green card all alone without the U.S. citizen spouse continuing to sponsor them and petitioning for them and all that good stuff. So that's what I wanted to discuss today. Let me see if there's anything else in my notes here that I wanted to talk about. Just a second, okay, well, I see in the news really quickly, just so that I had a chance, this morning, I haven't had a chance to look if anything happened since last night. I see here that they have begun to discuss this immigration reform in Congress and the Senate. So they're still talking about bringing back the original proposal for green cards in the immigration reform. They're still talking about it. And the problem was that the Senate parliamentarian said you cannot include this green card stuff in the finance bill, in the spending bill, in the money bill. Those are unrelated. And she's like an arbiter, like a hired arbiter, like an inside employee. She works for Senate. And she makes final decisions on what things can be included in the law if there's a dispute about it and what things cannot. And she said before that doing this overhaul and complete legalizing, giving green cards to illegal immigrants thing is not related to anything money related or spending related. And it deserves to have a separate law to be discussed. And some obviously, most Republicans and even some Democrats have agreed with her, but as of right now, they're still talking about adding it to what the Immigration Reform and Build Back Better Act was already decided to be discussed, okay? So they're still talking about the pathway to citizenship and adding it as part of that. But again, that's undecided. So we'll see what happens. That's it I have for the news today. This is where I'm going to say hello to everyone and see if I can address some of your questions. And again, yes, I'm an attorney, but the information we provide here is educational and informational in nature. This is in no means meant to give you legal advice, tell you how to run your case. If you want to discuss your case, if you want information specifically about your situation, I invite you to call our team. The number is below. Give us a call, schedule a consultation. It's a paid consultation. This I do for free. This is my pro bono, contribution to the society. But in our office, we work for money. So our consultations are for money. It's $230 as of today. We might be raising it starting next year, but we'll see. For now, it's $230. You'll speak to one of our team members, probably not me, because I'm super busy with all the stuff catching up after COVID and doing, my lives and preparing content for videos for you guys. So you'll speak to one of our trained lawyers and specialists that I personally train and prepare. We go over all these news and all the latest changes. And we have people specializing in different things in the office. So you'll be scheduled for whoever handles your kind of a case type, okay? So I'll get right into saying hello. And so far, all I see here is Samba Amadou, who said hello from Pennsylvania. Interesting. Today, I don't see too many comments here. Let me see if there's anything on Facebook. Yes, so I see it on my computer. I have to turn the sound off. Okay, so Janatul says hi, good morning, good morning. And Mark Brown says good morning, good morning. Samitha says good morning. Robert W says good morning. Hi, Robert W. Mark Brown says looking beautiful. Thank you. I'm trying this Christmassy lipstick. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the Christmas stuff today. And I prepared it. I meant to say something. Holiday season is upon us. For many people, it's the time where they go crazy buying gifts and a lot of consumerism happening. I don't know, I have kids and they want presents. Even though we're Jewish, we still celebrate Christmas, not for religious reasons, but we like the holiday season. We like having a tree. This weekend, I'm going to see if I can drag myself with my COVID recovery. I'm still very weak. I can drag myself to, usually I get a tree in Home Depot. It's a big store here in the United States where you buy tools and stuff, and they usually sell cheap, but good, very good, and like nice smelling Christmas trees. We usually buy one and we dress it up. Sometimes we put little clementines, like little tiny little oranges on it, and candies, and of course, toys and decorations and all that stuff. Kids usually get presents. I already got my husband a present, and I got him really great knives. He loves to cook, and even though we have like really bad knives at home now, but we have them. He said, we don't need any more knives, but I got him new knives. I'm like one of those people who's annoying and buys people things they need and not they want. Do your best. I have no advice about presents because people have different financial situations. It's the season that matters, and it's the thought that matters. And sometimes even just getting something small or a card to someone is going to mean a lot to them. And if you have family, make sure you spend time with them, because from personal experience, one day you get sick and you could be gone tomorrow. So make sure you spend time with family, with your loved ones. Reach out to friends, call people who knows what's going on. A lot of people here this year are super depressed. They're sad. This is not like the happiest Christmas season that I've had in my lifetimes, just a lot of people are afraid of getting sick, of dying, of getting COVID. And here in the United States, people are fighting about the vaccine. Some people think everybody should be forced to have it, whether they want it or not. Some people think nobody should be forced to have it. and the people should choose for themselves. It's a really difficult issue. So it makes for kind of a depressing Christmas. But try to do your best because your kids and your family want a little cheer this season, okay? Oh, Samba says hello from PA. Jonathan says good morning. Oh, I did this already. Robert, Mark, Stella says hello. Hi, Stella. Carenza says hello. Robert is asking, is anything USCIS speed I-602A? I actually don't know. Nothing new about that. Thank you for all the information that I shared. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching every week. And I'm so proud of us because this channel is growing. I don't have millions of subscribers, but I have like around 7,400, which is a lot. I never thought that, you know, here's me sitting in New York. Actually, I'm in New Jersey. I'm working from home Fridays. So on Fridays, I sit home in my little tiny home office, and the kids are in school and super quiet here. And it's hard. Like, this is a new world. It's hard for me to realize that there's so many people watching this. Thousands of people will watch this. It's crazy. I just imagine, like, I'm thinking about you guys. Like, I can see people's faces in front of me, and they're watching and listening, and it's insane that so many people are watching. I'm so grateful. It's like unrealistic even for me, and I'm just super like grateful and kind of surprised that so many people love what I do. But I love what I do, and I want to bring this information to you guys because I feel the media has their own agenda, and the way they process and like kind of package information is very difficult sometimes to read for immigrants and for even like regular American people. So I try to do what I can. Thank you very much. John O'Toole says, my U.S. citizen sibling applied for me in 2016. I'm reading on my other screen, so I'm sorry I'm looking down. I'm super blind. I would have to wear glasses if I had to read it here on the screen. My U.S. citizen siblings applied for me in 2016. I received receipt notice for I-130 after a month. I'm currently USA as an asylum seeker. Is there any hope for me in Build Back Better Act? I think yes. It depends when you came here. You say that your sibling applied for you in 2016, but I don't know when you came in here. I think there is some hope for you. And under the category of recapturing visas for family petitions, if you came before 2000, if you had more than 2 years wait, I think you'll be able to get this. But again, this is just a proposal right now, so I can't like say for sure you're gonna get it, but I hope so. Jay says hi, good morning. Hi, Jamie, my friend from Facebook, says hello. Ali Hawk says good morning. Chrissy says hi. Hi, Chrissy. Shout out to Adriana. Hi, Marina. Thanks for all you do to keep us informed. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching very much. And you know, it sounds like a cliche, but like when I was sick, I kept thinking I have to be well enough to do my show. I have to get better because people are relying on me, and that gave me the strength and like the motivation to get better faster. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to spend time being sick. I didn't want to dwell. I'm like not feeling well. I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. I feel like we're all connected, and that makes me super happy. So I'm going to continue to bring you back, to continue to bring you this information and present it to you in a super simple way, so we all are on the same page here. Is there a limit of how many family members a U.S. citizen can file for at once? For example, mom, dad, 2 kids, 2 sisters. Ask JJ. There's no limit, but remember, you have to be a sponsor and do affidavits of support for all your family members. So, if you're a good earner, you have a good W-2, your tax returns show good income, why not? And even if you're not, you can get other family and friends to help you, be joint sponsors with you, and you'll be in good shape. There's no limit. Aldo says, hello, hi. Jamie says, please describe how to deal with an additional evidence request. If evidence live out of the United States, in their forms, how they notarize their statements, if they live out of the U.S., thank you. A request for additional evidence usually comes when you file for some sort of a case, right? Like a big case usually, like a petition for a green card or employment petition or VAWA petition or asylum sometimes. When they ask you for additional evidence, immigration has a pretty low threshold of what evidence you can present them, which means you can pretty much give them any evidence if you think it's related to your case. If you have letters from people, it would be good to notarize them if they're outside of the United States, but it's usually very difficult. So it's okay for letters from overseas, from other countries, to simply type the letter, date it, sign it, and attach a copy of their passport or some other ID. That's usually enough. If they're in the United States, I do ask people to notarize affidavits and letters, okay? But from outside of the United States, it's not like a big requirement, you know. Tatiana says, hi, my brother wants to apply for the special juvenile petitions called SIJ. He is turning 20 soon. It will be enough time before he's 21 years old. I think you need to file as soon as possible. And the filing freezes the time, the age. So you need to file. Yes, it'll be fine. Just file now. Mark Brown wants to know, what is the cost for divorce? People ask me this every day. It depends. The answer is it depends. If it's really complicated and it needs to go to court, we charge by hour, and it becomes litigation. If the two sides agree, which happens, a lot of times people agree, they just want to get divorced, they want to be civil, they have kids, they don't want to ruin the kids' lives. We have like a flat fee, and it depends on how complex your situation is. If you have kids, property, this. So it depends. Chrissy says, thanks so much for information. Hi. And Chrissy, it looks from the picture like you are an essential worker, a medical worker with a mask and a medical uniform. God bless you. Thank you so much to all the medical workers and any essential workers out there helping people survive this pandemic. Thank you. Marina, I got here in 2005, says Adriana. He overstayed his tourist visa and has a 6-year-old daughter who is in the picture, but she's a baby here. A U.S. citizen. If I can get the parole protection, would I be able to adjust my status to permanent residence? First of all, I think just from seeing that you have a U.S. citizen child and you've been here so long, you could apply for cancellation of removal, where you go directly to an immigration judge and you ask them to give you a green card because of your U.S. citizen child. And usually you have to prove the child has medical problems, medical hardships, okay? I don't know if your daughter has anything like that, but anything like if she needs special diet, if she has allergies, asthma, medical problems, if she had development issues, problems, this works. If not, I think, yes, the new law will help you. But I'm not sure if you're going to go straight to a green card. You'll definitely get some sort of a status, work permit finally. You'll be able to pay taxes, maybe get advanced parole, and then, we'll see where that goes. We'll see. But I do think there's hope for you. And by the way, if you want to discuss cancellation or removal, it depends where you live. In some states, I tell people don't file because your judges suck. Like I had a woman from North Carolina. I looked up the judges in her area. The judges were only giving like 6% of the cases over the year statistically. 8%, 4%. I said, lady, either move or we're not filing anything for you. I don't want to take your money and get you deported, because knowing where you live, you have like almost no chance of winning if the judges in your area never grant anything. And that's a thing here, okay? Some states, especially like in the South, they're super conservative. The judges are anti-immigrant, and it just sucks, but it's a fact. So I tell people honestly, that's why where you live matters for immigration, for your case. The champ says, or I don't know, maybe he's called the UI champ. Will final action dates of F4 India move in upcoming, like in January? I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why. Basically, immigration announced that they have a policy right now. It's temporary, but for now, and you're asking about January, so January is still now. They said they will prioritize processing the people already in the system, people waiting for interviews, people whose visa and priority dates have come current before. Anything new, they're going to hold on and not move ahead yet. Like you were asking about F4 date from India, they're going to hold off on because they have to catch up on all the cases they have to process that already were current before, and because of the pandemic, they slowed down. There's a slowdown right now in place because of the pandemic. So probably in January, no, but maybe in like March. I'm thinking maybe by March they'll catch up. I'm hoping, you know. Again, I'm like guessing. It's like stabbing in the dark. I don't know for sure, but I think so. Baby Doll says hello. Hi. Oh, Baby Doll is from New Jersey. Hi, fellow New Jersey lady. How are you? Robert W says, hi, I'm Robert from Boston. Hi, I love Boston. My stepdaughter goes to school in Boston, and Boston has a lot of universities, and it's a beautiful, beautiful town. Lots of students and lots of like really cool museums and stuff there. I love it. I love it. We go there obviously a few times a year. Samuel says, hi, what about essential workers? They like shut down that conversation. It's part of the pathway to citizenship, and they're not talking about that right now, even though they're fighting in Congress to try to get that back, but we'll see. So no, nothing about essential workers. What is the cost for self-petition? Mark, if you're interested, give us a call. Maybe you're in a VAWA situation. We can discuss when you call us. The UI champ says, if we will expedite U.S. immigration visa, and one brother is already 23 and I'm 21, will they remove my brother's name for aging out if we'll expedite? His fees and all the paperwork are done. I think you have to call us and discuss this because there's a lot going on here, and it sounds like a lot of things are happening like right now. So you need to call and get a consultation. Rita says, Senate parliamentarian is taking so long to say anything compared to Plan A and B. Well, she said no already twice. So I think that her position is she doesn't really have to say anything else. They have not gone back to the parliamentarian because they cannot agree on it. That's the problem. Roseanne says, yes, we watch it and share with relatives. Oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing with relatives. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so honored that you guys trust me and watch this. Thank you so much. Jonathan says, any deadline for Senate parliamentarian to make a decision on Plan C? No. Well, the final deadline, they have to have a law by February 2022. So there is some sort of a deadline, but you know, there's no deadline like immediately right now. Robert says, thank you so much. Thank you. There's a Russian person here, America of Peace. I read Russian, by the way. I'm fluent in Russian if anybody's here interested. I don't know. Russian is my first language. I read, I write, I speak, I watch news. I keep up with Russian news. So one guy or lady who says America in letters is translation of their name, their screen name, the avatar. Can you file I-751 on line 2? Not yet. Does it take forever in all states? Yes, it takes about 2.5 years everywhere. And gorgeous lipstick. Thank you. It must be a lady. I think it's a lady. I thought it was a man. But thank you, whoever you are. And I'm fine either way, if you're a lady or a gentleman. That's good. Okay. Ian says, good morning, Marina. Thank you for all you do for our community. Your information is priceless. Thank you. Thank you very much. Chrissy says, quick question. Oh, this is the essential worker, Chrissy. Quick question for my work permit expires December 2 of this year, and it was renewed. It was renewed like 3 days before, and that seems to worry about Sai. Okay, so it sounds like you filed only 3 days ago. You're gonna have to wait a long time. Usually, we try to file 6 to 4 months before the expiration date for our clients. If you only filed to renew 3 days ago, it's going to take you at least 6 months. Some of our clients are waiting 10, 11 months even for the new work permit, so just be patient. Sobia says, I got my work permit today, but my I-485 got denied. Solution, please. I don't have a quick solution. You better give us a call for a consultation because you might need to do a motion to reopen, like an appeal. But that's not going to help you with your work permit. So you'd have to file a new I-485 to get going on a new work permit, unfortunately. If your I-485 green card application is denied and your work permit was based on that, when it's denied the I-485, the work permit becomes invalid. Rising Sun says, I have my asylum case pending and I also have I-360. Can I apply for adjustment while my asylum case is pending? Sam from Brooklyn. Hi, Sam. If you have the I-360, absolutely. The I-360 petition helps you be able to file for a green card and a work permit. Ferdous says, hi, Marina. Thank you for all great info. I came to U.S. in 2010 as a student. Then I applied for asylum 2016, very late. And my case is pending. If they agree about pathway to citizenship, that then include asylum. It sounds like you're still waiting. So yeah, I think you will be included. It doesn't sound like you're in immigration court yet. I think you will be included. Mark says, I came in 2010. Will I be eligible for parole? Sounds like yes, if the proposal goes through. Ma says, thank you, Marina. Do you think if you can help me? I'm in Arizona for about 5 years with pending asylum. I'm from Sudan. Never done any interviews with anyone yet. Thanks for the information. If you're from Sudan, I think you might be eligible for temporary protected status, TPS, but I don't have like the chart in front of me that tells you the eligibility dates. And if I'm not sure if you came in too late for that or not, you can look it up on uscis.gov, TPS from Sudan. What is the eligibility dates? But if you're asking if I can move your case along, it's super hard. Everybody's waiting such a long time for asylum. Hi, Marina. Do you need a formal education to be a paralegal in New York, New Jersey, or self-study and experience from law office? For my office, if you have experience, for me, it's enough. For a paralegal position, you don't need a degree. By the way, we're looking for paralegal in our New York, Brooklyn office. If you want to apply, send me your resume at info.sheplaw@gmail.com, or just find us online and apply. Gorgeous lipstick. Thank you. Thank you. I try. Adriana says, just to let you know, I'm from Connecticut. That's fine. We work with people from Connecticut all the time. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hi, neighbor. New Jersey is close to Pennsylvania. I live in New Jersey. My I-485 got denied. I didn't receive a letter from USCIS. I don't know what's the reason. Does it affect my current H-1B status? H-1B is not affected. The I-485, you will get a letter. If you don't, ask them to send you a copy, and they will. You have to call them and request a duplicate. So I just gave you the solution. What documents we need to submit once F4 is approved from USA? They will email you a letter with instructions from the National Visa Center when they're ready. Consultation. Asks the EUI or the UI champ is the phone number below. You have to schedule consultation by calling us at the office, and the phone number is below. Okay, there it is. Oh my God, Mark says that my consultation in 2020 saved his life. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you. I answered the question. Chrissy says, thank you. Ferdous, thank you so much. I'm wrapping up soon, but if the beneficiary spouse is in USA in F4 category, can he adjust the status over here in USA? You have to call us. This sounds complicated. This is not something I can address online. I have to look at things to tell you for sure. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for guiding. Your info will be very helpful. Thank you. We hope to hear from you. I hope to hear from you guys about if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, what do you do during the holidays? If you do celebrate, what do you have planned? Are you going away somewhere? Travel is once again coming back in the United States. People are flying domestically and pretty much coming back to flying internationally. Next week, no show. I will be on vacation. I'm going to be away next week on vacation out of the United States. Going to turn off my phone and relax for a whole week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you in 2 weeks on a Friday, okay? Have a great, great week. I hope everybody here stays healthy and takes care of yourself and your loved ones. Take care.